Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a long time and even longer since season one has come out. And for me, this is my first time watching it. So it's weird being someone that has not seen season one out of the 2 years that it's been out. And I'm like a diehard fan. Like, I love Star Wars. I've been in this fight since I was 5 years old. No, but season one came out in 2022. I just taken forever to watch. I watched every other show except for like The Acolyte. I'm gonna get around to watching them and reviewing everything. But yeah, so kind of my whole thoughts. I'll just get through it and just explain to you what I thought as a first time watcher in 2025. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the show. There are some parts I didn't love that much. I don't think it's perfection or like a masterpiece. Like no other show can come close. That's wrong. People are overhyping it a little bit, but don't get me wrong, really good production at least. Now, let's get into some of the things that I thought were kind of and then I can explain why I loved it so much. Now, first off the bat, I'm sure if you're a diehard fan, in season one, episode 2 or 3, I forget which one it was, when Cassian finds the abandoned ship or the crashed ship, they're wearing separatist logos on their sleeves. I know this is a weird first thing to be upset about, but if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense on why she calls them Republic ships and Republic officers, and that kind of like threw me off. Now, if you look on like the Wikipedia, there's a whole like extended explanation on why this is. I think it's just a production issue. Like they must have shot it and then they decided to switch it to Republican because it was before the Clone Wars. Or I think that what they said, it was an insignia of a Republic faction within the Republic, and then when they break off, they become their own thing, a separatist down the line. Probably just a production error. Not too bad. Now the things that did bug me a little more, the very earthy American things they tied in. I just felt like, Star Wars theory says the bricks and screws. Now, to me, that's not as big of a deal as like the cereal or the space AKs were really bad. I was like, come on. And I know that all Star Wars weapons are based off actual guns, but they have heavily modified parts to them. AKs are just AKs, and I'm like, that took me out a little bit. Like, we're not out here in the Middle East somewhere, or in Russia. But no, that part was interesting. The cup noodles also in the beginning. I mean, okay, I get it, but like food has always been kind of unique in Star Wars. It's not always just, you're not taking Panda Express takeout on here. And the only other 2 or 3 things that were very like earthy were the instruments in the funeral scene. I felt like those were just a little too, I don't know, like there was French horns and trumpets, and the flutes looked a little cooler, but the other two totally just like more angular. So didn't love that. But outside of those two, I think the actual like environment was very lived in, really good production value. Obviously, like the price they spent on this show is crazy. So I mean, it had to be nice. And yeah, I really liked the way it looked. Now, for one of the things I didn't love, I know this is a slow burn, but there were a few points in the show I felt like the pacing wasn't great. Anything to do with Cyril's character, kind of boring. Didn't enjoy it. I mean, I guess to each their own. But I like a slow burn. It's just this one felt like it took time. It took its time for sure. Now, outside of the pacing, the sister in the beginning, the plot line for the sister trying to find his sister, that kind of was brought up once or twice and completely like left off the table. Like he never brought it up again. I don't think Cassian ever even mentions it after. I know his mother does, but he doesn't bring it up afterwards. I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, I get why they didn't do it. There's too many plot lines running at the same time. And another thing that I thought was weird is the tie-ins. They didn't really tie in like any of the superior imperial like officers. They did have our boy from the Clone Wars, but they didn't have like Krennic or Grand Moff Tarkin or Palpatine. And I know that you don't have to have those characters in every show you're in, but maybe like 1 or 2 mentions more of them, or like hearing their voices in distance talking to somebody else, like just tying it in a little bit more to the story would have felt a little better to me. But regardless, I like the idea of branching out, making the universe seem bigger instead of smaller. So, I mean, good and bad on that end. And the only other thing I did not like about the show, this is, I mean, for most people, they won't even care, but the Death Troopers. Okay, hear me out. If you've seen all the TV shows, you know these Death Troopers get clapped in everything they do. Look at Rebels. Like, dude, people were just headbutting and kicking them in that show. I don't know. I felt like it was silly. Come on. We should give them. If they're going to be the special forces unit in Star Wars, they got to have a little bit more skill to him. And I think Cassian one taps a guy after he shoots once at him. I get it. Like, Cassian's like rebel, but like, dude, these guys are trained. Like, and stormtroopers are supposed to be like above like the Imperial army. So, regardless, they just did dirty again. And I like their drip. Their drip is nice. So I just wish they could have done better. Now, into the things I love. Speaking of drip, I was gonna save this for later, but let's just go straight into it. Imperial drip is superior to anything in like any science fiction show I've ever seen. Their uniforms are just crazy. Like, oh my gosh, I like the all whites are clean. Obviously, like their trench coats in the rain, dope as frick. But I won't lie, my favorite drip or my favorite outfit out of any of them is the last episode, season finale, episode 12. The captain that was stationed on Ferrix. His like black cape. Oh my gosh, I know Krennic rocked one of those white ones in Rogue One. But the black, for whatever reason, just looks tough. Like, I would rock that, like, unironically, if that was like socially acceptable. But no, the Imperial drip is just, that made the show so much more fun to watch. Just seeing how, like, dang, that's like, I know it's based off of, like, the Nazis, and I mean, makes sense because Nazi drip was also like, you know, Hugo Boss, if you look at the history there. But yeah, it looks really good. And okay, the other few things I loved, we can talk about Coruscant. Now, anything to do on the planet of Coruscant in the show is peak. Like, I'd say, like, the show for me wasn't perfect, but Coruscant, now it's a perfect show. Anything with ISB, anything with Mos Mothma and, like, the Senate, anything in Coruscant was amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much. Like, that finally felt like a real world, you know? Like, Obi-Wan did dirty, you know? Boba, bro, those shows are trash. Like, horrible. I hate them. But anything on Coruscant felt real, and I loved it. And it felt like I could just see, like, Obi-Wan and Anakin flying by in their speeder, just messing around. Like, it felt real. I don't know. I thought it was dope. Another part of the show I really loved, the prison plot, S-tier plot. I think it's maybe my favorite part, more than the heist. I liked it more than the heist, more than the finale. Finale, honestly, I felt like a step down from the prison and the heist, because I mean, yeah, they shoot around and he escapes and cool, like, funeral, dope, respect. But I honestly, like, I don't know, the finale was good. The high of the prison was just dope. And what's his name, Kino Loy, bro, killed it. I mean, Andy Serkis is amazing. He's Gollum. He's directing the next Lord of the Rings movie. He's done a lot of amazing things. So I mean, to be expected, but he's probably one of my favorite characters, like top 5 or top 3 in the show. Yeah, great. I mean, obviously Luthen. Luthen is like another person up there that's like him and Kino Loy, like those two guys. Like, I would watch hours just those guys doing stuff in Star Wars. Like, I'm honestly curious where Kino Loy went because he couldn't swim. Bro was like, yeah, maybe that's why he was like scared to start the like speech. I don't know why, but maybe because he realized he couldn't get out. He was stuck because he couldn't swim. I mean, he saw them coming in. He saw that it was water, so maybe they could steal a ship or something. I would love to see more of him. You know, don't do him dirty like Black Panther and kill him off before he gets to do more stuff in the universe, because he was amazing. Great actor, great character. Trying to think what the other things I wrote down. So yeah, CGI, perfection, because they spent like $60 million per episode or something, even more than that, crazy. Acting, nothing felt like they were subpar. It was all great acting, great cinematography, beautiful. In fact, probably the best TV show out of any of the Star Wars ones. It's a low bar, but and yeah, the characters were all cool. The only one I didn't like was Suril. Like I said before, that dude was a bum, boring. I mean, they might introduce some more angles to his character next season, maybe in the Empire, and I think I've seen like clips of him doing stuff in season 2. But yeah, kind of a bum. And besides that, oh yeah, the Imperials. The fact that they were feared, I love that the Imperials were feared. Like, they were actually, like, getting stuff done on time, locked in. It showed that, like, in order to take over a full galaxy, you have to be on top of your work. You know, you have to be grinding. And they were. And they, like, got stuff done. They were killing rebels. They were planning, and, like, they were smart. Like, I felt like I was in a classroom just listening to them. Like, yeah, dude, let's kill those rebels, you know? Like, I was hyped. But yeah, I mean, that they kind of carried so much of the show for me, because the rebels were just scrambled, and I know that's supposed to be how they are. I mean, Saw Gerrera, I mean, if you look at the Clone Wars or Rebels or anything in Rogue One, he's amazing. Dope character. And kind of seeing his like his whole goal is just to kill the Empire. Like no matter what, he kind of has a little bit of a he's kind of prideful in a way, and that way he won't work with the other people. But at the end of the day, you saw he was willing to team up to take down the Empire. Like that's all he cares about. Bro just wants to throw hands. And yeah, so like I like how the Rebels were structured. The Imperials were done great. Now the only other thing is I think this made me super hyped for season 2. I really want to binge it right now. I won't lie with you. I think season 1 I watched 2 days for the first 6 episodes, and then the last day I just binged the rest of them because I really wanted to finish it. And because once it picks up, and I've heard that season 2 is even better, so I'm more excited. Now, if you've watched this far, you might be curious as to be what my review or my rating is for this. I do 0 out of 10 ratings for all my movies in my letterbox, and I do the same for my TV show reviews. So what did I review? Andor. I mean, I would love to give like a 0.5 somewhere here. So I'm thinking either a 7 to an 8. 7 and 8. I don't know. 7.5? I can do 7.5. I make the rules here. So yeah, I thought it was great. Really good parts of it. Some parts I didn't love that took me out. Just parts of I think the two biggest things were like pacing, the Sewell plot line. The finale wasn't as strong as the others, and just American and earthy things kind of drew me out. But the things they did well were so good. Like I think season 2 is going to be a 10 for me when I watch it. And I respect anyone's opinion if they loved it or if they hated it, like Star Wars Theory. I know people hate on him for not liking aspects of it, but I mean, him. It's your own opinion. I think art is subjective. There's no such thing as the best. It's whatever you like. So if you loved it, let me know what you liked in the comments, and maybe go rewatch season 1 again, because it's been a while since it's come out. Try it again, see what parts you loved. I'm gonna rewatch that prison arc, that's for sure. That arc was Kino Loy. He's my dude. That's awesome. But I plan on uploading a lot more in the future. Once I finish season 2, I'm gonna review that season. I want to review like every single Star Wars season and show and movie and game that I have. I'm gonna have almost every single game, so I want to review them all, and just kind of like upload them on here to see kind of my thought process as time goes on. Now, the only other thing that I'm working on right now is a video about what is true canon in George Lucas's eyes, and I think that'll be really interesting because a lot of people don't actually know what he believes is canon and what Disney is considering canon and what other people consider canon to be. So should be interesting. Now leave a like, subscribe if you liked it, and hope you have a wonderful day.